Hello, this is David Poon calling in from New York City where I'm doing school. I just want to confirm that people can hear me and that the audio is working. Let's see, this is starting up. Although I admit, we'll simply just post this as a video. So we're back. There's a lot of new stuff happening. So we have a organized forward campaign right now that is actually going to be a mixture of multiple campaigns. There's a lot of new news and I realize a lot of it is scary. I'm concerned too. So right off the bat, let's get to this. I spoke to IRCC on Friday, January the 15th. I spoke to them about a number of concerns that we had, in particular, the possibility of exit visas and the possible stop of people coming into Canada. I mentioned that no matter what happens, we must be able to maintain our family reunification standard. So what we have right now with the extended family authorizations as well as the compassionate authorizations, that must be maintained. Now, they could not speak out loud on what could be happening, but I know they heard me and I know that they are listening to us. Last year, we had a significant win with the extended family authorizations, and we need to make sure that they do not forget us. So that's point number one. I know there are rumors today that outbound flights into the US might be canceled. That hasn't happened yet, but we're still waiting for things to work together. We need to be organized, and I'll get to that soon. So number one is protecting extended family authorizations. So the Netherlands have unfortunately closed their sweetheart exemption. So that means essentially that committed partners are no longer exempt from the travel restrictions. We will not let that happen in Canada. So we're starting now to make sure we preserve that. Secondly, there are a number of public people who have been in trouble, MPs and business people that have gotten into trouble, lost their jobs for visiting family overseas during the pandemic. While they didn't tell their company that was wrong, maybe they didn't tell their political allies that was wrong too. But family reunification must not be vilified. We'll be issuing a public statement there. If you know of people, high-profile people, and a way to get a hold of them who have had a problem with family reunification, please let us know because we will be standing in support of them. There's also the possibility that because high-profile cases are in the human rights tribunal stage for having visited family, these people should not be punished or fired from their job because of visiting family. We have to get in front of the media narrative there. Our goal is to ultimately protect extended family as a class of people that are remembered when large-scale travel restrictions occur. In addition to that, the first extended family authorizations will expire in April. I've already brought that up and asked for the IRCC to produce a simplified method in either renewing them or simply extending them. They said flat out no to extending all of ours. However, there could be a simplified reapplication method. We also need to essentially get the systems working better for us, and I'm going to go into that in a different section today. But we do need to have the IRCC system work better, not only for us, but for temporary residents, for spousal sponsorship applications, and COPR. There are a number of people who are currently not being processed. So because of that, we are launching a mandamus legal action. Now, this is not a class action lawsuit. What this is a lawyer will be taking in a number of our applications and stating that there are too many harms occurring from a delayed application process. Spousal sponsorship, for example, extended family authorizations. So we have a lawyer and we're just finding out exactly what we need to submit. But this will be about $500 a person, and we're going to be submitting these to show the harms that delayed applications have. Ideally, this will result in two different things. Number one, your application will get processed. That's not a guarantee you'll get approved, but that's a guarantee that you'll hopefully get processed faster. And the second thing is that they'll have such a large pile of these mandamus applications that there will be an IRCC reform. We're calling it Replace IRCC, fixing their computer systems. Their GCMS system, their case management system, is something like 20 years old, and there are two systems we need to have that improved. In addition to that, we'll be trying to convince Minister Freeland, our the federal finance minister in order to improve funding to the IRCC. A lot of different pieces, and we'll get into how we're going to do that. There are different case discussions on what's happening to different people, and we still want to be tracking how the system is working, but the extended family authorization seem to be working okay. Next point, CBSA watchdog. A lot of us have had really bad experiences with the CBSA right now. There have been a number of issues. I just want to confirm that we're still running live. Is it still running? I think we're still running. Yeah, we're still running. Sorry. The CBSA watchdog is a huge issue because a number of us have had terrible experiences with the CBSA. What we need to do is we need to file ATIP requests. That's access to information and privacy. I'll be detailing step-by-steps on what to do, but essentially the Canadian has to acceptable if there were gross inconsistencies on what was being done. So these will be our ATIP challenges. We'll have more instructions on how to do that. Spousal sponsorship, COPR, and extended family delays, we're all in the same boat. We need to have an improved system. We're going to be launching a forum and a wiki. So a forum is essentially a place where all questions can start coming in. Right now, the Facebook page was barely manageable for one campaign. Now that we have multiple campaigns, we need to have them consolidated into one place where we can not only easily look up information, but access it as well very easily. So our Chief Technical Officer has made a beautiful forum. Find us at facesofadvocacy.com/forum, facesofadvocacy.com/forum. Right now, what I want you to do is I want you to sign up for an account, go to your respective extended families or compassionate spousal sponsorship or COPR or temporary resident area, and then put in your case. We need to know exactly what the cases are of people, whether or not you've succeeded, failed, or you have a question. We need to start figuring out who we are so we can present ourselves to government and show what we need to be done in order to improve things. We'll also have a wiki where people can find answers because a lot of repeat questions are coming up, and we are about to expand because there are so many new travel restrictions that may come up. Temporary residents, you have your Temporary Resident Tuesday. Our Chief of Staff and our Director of Operations are writing a letter every Tuesday for temporary residents. We need to find a way to do so. I've checked, there's no legal way right now for us to change the way that temporary residents are being managed for family reunification. There is actually a method for temporary residents to reunite, but it's inconsistently applied. And I asked the IRCC to give us clarity, and we need the political will to make that happen faster. On Thursdays, our Chief of Staff and Director of Operations are working on testing Thursdays and shortened quarantine. So what this is a weekly letter writing campaign in order to get Canada up to the international standard of shortened quarantine when testing is there. We want this to be done safely. We're also allying with Better Borders. They're an airline group because travel must be done in a safe way, but right now a full-on closure is not going to be the right way to do it. There'll be too many families left in the dust because of that. So keep an eye out on Tuesdays and Thursdays for temporary resident Tuesdays and testing Thursdays. So we have a question in the chat which I addressed earlier, but the question is, will they take away our extended family exemptions? I brought that up on Friday with a virtual meeting with IRCC specifically about this. And this is something we will not let go of easily. There might be further restrictions coming for the rest of Canada, but family is essential and we cannot allow that to fall apart. Right now, we have multiple campaigns being pulled together, and we need to get them organized and forward. So we need people on the forum. So once again, the forum is facesofadvocacy.com/forum, facesofadvocacy.com/forum. Now, I know there'll be a number of questions. We'll try to answer them on the forum. It's organized. We have our advocacy, traveling to and from Canada, quarantine discussion, extended family cases, spousal sponsorship cases, COPR cases, temporary resident cases, support, vent, and mental health. Now, under the advocacy, we have a nice listing of everything that we're doing. That's the mandamus legal action, the shortened quarantine and testing, the government support, our CBSA watchdog, reunification Thursday, temporary resident Tuesdays, and our FAQs. Okay, so we have a few questions coming up here. We have a wonderful team, by the way, and they've been just working so hard. We took a little bit of time to reorient ourselves, but we have a lot to do and we need all of us together. One question coming up is why we can't do a class action lawsuit. A class action lawsuit is something that we have explored. Many of the lawyers we spoke to found that this would not be the right path. We are still trying to find a way to do a charter challenge. The charter challenge here is what we require to show that extended family have been inordinately harmed by this. The mandamus are individual claims similar to a class action lawsuit, but we're not asking for money. We're asking for systemic changes and for files to be processed. So a class action lawsuit, maybe we're getting money, but we want a change to the IRCC system. So right now, I want everyone watching, please tell all the other groups that you're in, all your friends to join us on the forum right now, facesofadvocacy.com/forum. We have a lot of work to do. There are many changes. I understand it's scary, but remember that family is essential. We are not asking for open borders. We are just asking to be together and family over fear. All right, I'll see you guys soon.